Okay, so our next project we're going to do is going to be a shading project that is an optical illusion project, and this is going to kind of warm up your shading. We did something similar to this in 8th grade when we did the pencils that went around and then you had to shade them to look like they were round. So this is kind of the finished project, and what we're going to do is you're going to start by doing 7 wavy vertical lines, and I'm going to do these in Sharpie just to make it quicker so you can see them. But so just 7 not going to work very well. 2 3 4 5 6. Rewrite this one again. And my paper is actually smaller than yours, so I'm just going to stick with 6. You're going to do 7. Then you're going to do 1 line that's horizontal through the middle. I'm going to do this in pencil because you will actually erase this line, so I don't want to have this line in there. So, and I would have it kind of wave a little bit. So this is your basic that you're going to build off of. Then you're going to create these like worm tubes that go up, and you want them to be rounded so that they give you the illusion of a rounded kind of tube. So you start from the center line and you're going to round it, and you want it to kind of go back to that original. And if you want to almost kind of start at the one you did before. See how I'm kind of starting at the one I did before and rounding in. So it almost repeats this line right here. Then turn to do the same thing. Go back to here, round. Here, round. Here, round. Every time. See, I'm going back to that last one I did every time and going up because you want it to have that tube look. So for instance, for right here, do the first one, round it. See how I go back every time? I go back to the last one. Go back to the last one. You don't want to make them too narrow because then you're going to have issues with having to color too much, but you don't want to make them too wide either because then you're going to have that same issue with not having enough to color. Go back again to that original line, and if you got off, it doesn't matter because these will be in pencil, so you wouldn't see the line like I am. So there, I did a couple of the lines. Now, this is why you did some pencil. So when you're done, you're erasing that middle line because you want it to have like an archiness right here. You want that middle one to have that arch, so you want that to be open. You wouldn't want to have a line through it. So you have your tube. You're going to do different colors, so you can have different color combos. You just don't want to have it the same every single time. So choose your colors, whatever they may be, but you're going to have like an opposite color combo. Now, what we're doing is when we focus on the shading, you're going to want to focus on dark, light, dark. So again, it gives that illusion, that optical illusion of being round, so that it goes into the edges as it forms and has that highlight in the middle. And you can do it a couple ways. You can choose to do it by your choices of color. So you can kind of tell this one stands out a little bit more. And so does the black. She used a black, a brown, or a gray, and looks like actually 2 colors of gray and a black. Here there's a green and a light green and a dark green. So you can use your color choices. So you actually can use like some blues, light blues, and maybe a dark blue for your edge. And I would take some scrap paper. I'm just going to use this edge as a scrap paper to make sure these colors work together. So that may be my dark. This may be my highlight. Let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, that one. Actually, this one probably goes better. Yeah, probably these three when I look at them. This one didn't really fit in very well. So, and you're going to, you know, the more pressure you put on it, the darker it's going to be, less pressure, light it's going to be. So you're going to build this up. So I'm just going to start with this edge. You're going to put like a layer, because you can always build up. So kind of put a layer of the dark here. You're going to have your medium color, overlap. Notice I'm going a circular motion. I'm not going back to back. I don't want to have that back to back look. And I would overlap that dark blue. Overlap it too. And then with your light, you'd go really light in this middle area. And then blend it in as you go. Then go back in, do a second layer. You want this dark to be pretty dark, but you want it to blend. And there you would have like your first one. Then you can choose another color combo. Maybe like a choice of reds. Again, on a piece of scrap paper, maybe go in and test your red combos. And it may be something where you just need two. Like if you're gonna do two, this would be one here. You're gonna have your dark on your edge. If you're doing two, you're probably gonna have like a little bit more of a edge with the dark. Then you're going to really have like a pressure issue. Really light in the middle. And then you're going to blend that lighter red as you go. And that highlight should kind of follow itself. See how it kind of follows itself here? That highlight should follow itself. I'm still using just that medium red. Go back in and get that dark because I want that edge to be really dark. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on this dark red. I'm just blending. As I go out to this area, I'm not putting a lot of pressure at all. Coming up again, overlapping and overlapping. So you would just do the same thing. You color the whole thing. I'd probably do red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. With my color combo, so I'd probably keep them out. I'd probably do like the whole set of blue, then go back in and do my reds. Then I'd do my next thing. You're gonna do your 7 lines first, your horizontal line, take your Sharpie, do your little worms all the way through, leaving some space. Don't do them so close, that's gonna be really hard for you to shade. Erase that pencil line, then start doing your shading. Again, this is just like a practice shading, so that our next project, when we actually do the shading, we know how to do those highlights that go through.